The quality of our lives is directly related to the health of our watersheds.
The IWI focuses on a watershed approach because a watershed is a complex thing. When you think of it just from the perspective of water, all the water in a watershed all flows towards one point. That's basically the definition of a watershed. But it's not just the perspective of water that we're looking at when we look at a watershed. It's also the whole ecosystem. So we have to look at every player, every animal, plant, what's happening with the rainfall, with land use, everything in a watershed. Those are all the decisions that need to be taken into account, and so all the people that are making those decisions need to be at the table.
There are hundreds of lakes, rivers, and streams that feed specific regions or areas of land known as watersheds. A watershed is an area of land that drains rainfall and snowmelt into streams and rivers, which then empty into bodies of water like reservoirs, lakes, or oceans. Watersheds do not recognize international borders, so the governments of Canada and the United States co-manage these transboundary spaces as joint partners. This partnership allows for the sharing of resources and perspectives that give synergy to water management activities. To assist with these activities, the governments look to the International Joint Commission, or IJC. The IJC was created by the 1909 Boundary Waters Treaty between Canada and the United States to assist governments in the prevention and resolution of disputes regarding the use of boundary waters. The IJC, in turn, creates boards that have specific responsibilities in many of these watersheds. Given the diversity of these transboundary watersheds, a flexible, local, and proactive approach is beneficial to their management. Since 1998, the IJC has increasingly promoted and followed a holistic ecosystem approach to its duties in transboundary watersheds through the International Watersheds Initiative, or IWI. The IWI emphasizes addressing water management issues by approaching these watersheds as a whole, going beyond international boundaries and individual components to manage them in their entirety. Looking beyond these projects, a key plank upon which IWI is built is adaptive management. This is the recognition that ecosystems are changing over time, particularly due to climate change, and so too are the needs and concerns of those in each watershed. By anticipating and assessing these shifting needs and changes on an ongoing basis, the IWI can help water managers and the IJC's own boards make decisions that are in the best interests of both countries.
So I think they're learning a lot about how to apply adaptive management. It's still in the early stages because they're still learning what parameters do you collect data about, how do you actually implement adaptive management on a watershed scale. It's not easy because you have to satisfy so many sectors. One of the challenging things about water management, whether you're in the IJC or not, is you've got a multitude of interests, and you've got to make decisions about how you satisfy everybody, or you try to.
Using the concept of adaptive management, observation and planning is continuous and allows boards to adjust strategies as new information becomes available. The IWI approach also recognizes that those who live, work, and play within a watershed often are best placed to anticipate, prevent, and resolve problems provided they have adequate support from the IJC. It is fundamental to the present and future health of our shared waters to invite people to the table who have the expertise, knowledge, and the motivation to work collaboratively toward common goals.
The Mohawks have a saying about the greatest chief isn't one who brings people to his position, but creates the space for people to share information and come to a collective decision. And that's the strength of the IJC.
Since the Canadian and U.S. governments first endorsed the holistic ecosystem approach in 1998, international watershed boards have come to embody this integrated perspective of international water management.
And when IWI started, to me it was an exciting time. As a young biologist working on a reserve, and people were saying, we want to work with you. But almost immediately there were people moving and talking and wanting to hear what we said, and to me that was an exciting time.
The IWI has been a game changer for how the IJC and its boards have operated in these transboundary regions, and we are on track to provide opportunities and benefits to communities and water managers for years to come. We hope you will contact us and get involved in safeguarding our watersheds for future generations.